Hi everyone, welcome. We are going to give some loving attention to stretching and strengthening hands and wrists and feet and ankles. So I'm going to try to split this up almost evenly into about two 10-minute segments. We'll start with hands, wrists, fingers, and if you want to skip that and you want to get right to the feet, you can skip ahead hopefully to about the 10-minute mark if I do this right, and you can do just that part. So your choice, you can do either or, you can do both parts. Either way, giving some nice attention to all the little joints that sit in your hands and in your feet. There's a lot going on in both places, and many of us have a lot of pain or stress or tension, whether it's a carpal tunnel kind of issue, wrist strains. We have plantar fasciitis a lot in the feet. That's a common issue that a lot of people deal with. Ankle mobility. We're going to address all of it. So all you need to do is find somewhere to sit. Doesn't matter where, floor, chair, couch, bed, get comfortable. And all you need is your body. We don't need any special props for this practice. So as always, we'll start with a minute to tune in. This is yoga after all. We want to take some time to breathe and settle and center. So once you find your seat, go ahead and close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths. With the intention that every breath in and out lasts just a little bit longer than the breath before. And so you're progressively slowing down inhalation and exhalation. When you exhale, softening your shoulders down, away from your ears, letting your shoulders press gently into your back so your heart lifts. Exhale, release your jaw. Mindfully soften hands and feet. Notice if there was any tension, any gripping in either hand or either foot. As we start to come into this practice for the hands, just bringing them together in front of your heart space. So palms together, fingertips pointing towards the sky, shoulders still resting. Your thumbs can rest right against your breastbone. And just feel the warmth of your hands, this healing energy we all possess. We'll start with a few sun breaths, just moving arms and hands with the breath. As you inhale, send your hands up towards the ceiling. And when you exhale, flip your palms out and bring your arms down by your sides. And then come back up through center, through your heart space. Inhale, reach towards the ceiling. Get long through your spine. Exhale, flip your palms out like you're pressing the walls away. Flex your wrists as you come down. Okay, and then again, inhale up through center. Exhale, coming out to the sides. This time, as you flex your wrists and come down, we're going to stop at the halfway point. So when your hands are in line with your shoulders, your arms stretching straight out to the sides. Fingertips pointing up to the ceiling. Take a nice big breath here. And when you exhale, flip your fingertips down towards the floor. So the top, the front of your wrist lengthens, stretches out. Tuck your thumbs slightly in if they're splaying out. Okay, inhale, flip your palms back up. Press the heel of your hands out. Exhale, flip your palms back down. Back and forth a few times. Inhale, flip the palms up. fingertips pointing towards the ceiling, heel of your hand pressing out. Exhale, curl in. I know shoulders, arms may be getting a little tired. Breathe through that sensation. Focus on the movement in your wrists. And be really present with sensation through your forearms, through your palms. We're going to do one more of each. So fingertips towards the ceiling, fingertips towards the floor. And you come back to center, just fingers pointing out to the sides. Nice deep breath, come up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands together, come down to heart center. And again, rest your thumbs against your breastbone. Soften your shoulders down away from your ears. Give them a full breath in and out to rest. Elbows heavy. Hands are going to come out in front of you now, palms facing down, fingertips pointing straight ahead, and arms, again, about up in line with your shoulders. Okay, working from your elbows down, we're going to flip the palms up. So notice your shoulders might want to initiate the movement. Try to keep your shoulders still. Okay, and draw your shoulders back. If reaching your fingertips forward is causing you to curl, notice that pattern in your body. Okay, lift your heart, pull your shoulders back in space. And again, flip your palms up like you're holding a platter. And then flip your palms back down. So supination and pronation in the arm. We're coming from the elbows. Again, flip up, flip down, flip up, flip down. One more time, hold the platter. This time, bring your fingertips down towards the floor. Again, pressing the heels of your hands forward. And then come back up through center. Pull your fingertips towards you so your palms are facing your face. Fingertips back through center and then down towards the floor. And those shoulders are starting to feel it again. Few more breaths. Fingertips towards the ceiling. Fingertips down towards the floor. Come back to center. Hands together, heart center. Close your eyes. Soften your shoulders, heavy elbows. Let your arms, your hands, your shoulders rest. Take a nice full breath in and out. And coming back to the sun breaths, reaching up as you inhale, fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, arms out to the sides, push the walls away. Come down through center, up towards the sky. Again, breathing, draw your spine long, get tall. Exhale, arms out to the sides. Again, we're going to pause. Heels pressing out, the heels of your hands. Pull your fingers back. Okay, and then we're going to do one finger at a time on each hand. So pinky fingers will move together, ring fingers, so on. The thumb is going to curl in. The index finger is going to curl over that. Middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Okay, roll your wrists around with your fists. Good. And then switch directions. Roll around. We're going to open in the opposite direction. So pinky fingers are going to come up, and then ring fingers, middle fingers, index fingers. Open your thumb. Take a nice deep breath. Come up towards the ceiling. Exhale down to your heart space. One full cycle of breath in and out. Resting shoulders, arms. Take your hands back up to the ceiling. Exhale, arms out to the sides. Again, pausing at the halfway point, wrists in line with your shoulders. We're going to do that same curling and opening. We're going to move opposite direction this time. So pinky fingers are going to curl in first. Ring fingers follow. Middle fingers, index finger. This time thumb curls on top. Again, rotate your wrists around. Okay, switch directions. Coming back to center, we're going to uncurl thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, hands back up towards the ceiling. Exhale down into your heart space. Nice deep breath. Rest your arms, rest your shoulders. Okay, and then again, reaching your hands forward, holding that platter. So palms face up, and this time you can bring your elbows in towards your sides and rest your shoulders a little bit so you don't have to work so hard to hold up your arms for our wrist strengthening exercise. We'll still have hands facing up. We're going to move each finger to the thumb one by one, and just notice as you move the difference between your fingers. If you have one that's harder to move towards the thumb, to touch the thumb, one or more. Or for some people, this is a really easy exercise, and you're just working a little more on brain yoga, on moving those joints together. So we'll start with the index finger to thumb. Take a full breath in and out. And release, and then middle finger to thumb. And full cycle of breath. And release. Ring finger to thumb. Releasing that one, and then finally pinky finger to thumb. And release. And then we're going to go through a little quicker. So index finger to thumb, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, relax. Index finger to thumb, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, relax. Index, middle, ring, pinky, relax. Index, middle, ring, pinky, relax. Index, middle, ring, pinky, let it go. Last one, index, middle, ring, pinky, let it go. Shake your hands out, rotate your wrists around. Okay. And then finally bringing your hands down by your sides. And this is a little easier, or gives a little more sensation, I should say, if you're on a hard surface. So if you're sitting on a bed or a couch and you want to move down to the floor for this one, feel free, but you'll still get something out of it if you're on a softer surface. You may just have to press a little bit harder. So we're going to have hands right down by your sides, fingers pointing forward, and I'll move my legs forward so you can see a little better. We're going to just press into the floor first. Lift your heart up. Take a full breath. Soften your shoulders down. And then changing your hands, we're going to make fists, thumbs on the outside, and put the knuckles of your hands down on the floor. Again, press down to lift your heart up. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And then curling your fists, your wrists really, or fists towards your wrists. We're going to come down on the top of the hand. So the top of your wrist faces forward, okay? And the top of your hand comes down to the floor. Curling your fingers in if that's comfortable, but if you need to release them to the floor, that's fine. Your palms will face up to the ceiling. Again, press down, maybe a little more gently this time. Lift your heart up, soften your shoulders down. And just notice the sensation through the tops of your forearms. And for some, this is more than others. I'm a massage therapist, so I feel this through my forearms. They're a little tighter. I use them a lot. Many of us, whether we're typing, writing on chalkboards or whiteboards, a lot of teachers out there, the arms do a lot of work. Give them one more full breath, stretching the tops of the forearms and the wrists here. And then gently releasing that, you can give your wrists a few rotations again, both directions. And then moving into the front of the wrists and into the palms, we'll take the hands this time, put fingertips to the floor so your palms face forward, they face towards your feet, and then gently bring your palms down to the floor. So your inner arm, your inner wrist is facing forward, and you can just gently lean your weight back. Only as far as you want to go. It might be just a quarter of an inch or so before you really feel that sensation. Another option to do this, if this particular position is not quite working for you, is to bring your hands in front of you, palms to the floor. Dial your fingers out to the sides and then back behind you as much as you can. Your fingertips might not point directly back. I know mine are a little bit angled, but moving the front of your wrist to face forward, and then again, you lean back, or you can rock a little forward and back here, keeping the heels of your hands pressing down towards the floor. Be mindful again of softening your shoulders, relax your face. Don't let that tension creep in anywhere where it is not welcome. One more full breath and let it go. And gently coming out of the stretch wherever you were landing with it. Again, rotate the wrists, shake it out. Wiggle your fingers, open, scrunch, open, scrunch, open, scrunch. And then let's move on to feet and ankles. Let's give them some nice attention here. So stretching your legs out. If you're sitting up on a couch, a bed, a chair, just stretch out, bring your heels down towards the floor. And then very simple exercises here. I'm going to move myself back a little bit so my feet are a little more in view. This is always the point in the video where I look down and realize I need a pedicure, but hopefully we won't see that too much here. Pulling the toes back, flex your feet, press your heels out. Feel that nice sensation in the backs of your legs, and then curl your feet forward, point, stretch the front of your ankles. Now, if you tend to get a lot of foot cramps, don't press this point too far. Okay? Go middle, go easy on yourself. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Keep going and getting into that point flex motion. Feel into the rest of your body. Can your spine grow taller? Can your heart lift higher? Can you relax the muscles of your face, your arms, your hands? Point, flex. Let's again hold a flex. Notice the sensation and compare right to left. Any difference? I'm just noticing, checking in. And relaxing out of that, let's roll the ankles a few times in each direction. Take a pause, switch. And then again, let's pause, switch directions, go back the first way. And one more switch. And changing directions. Stop up and center, come back to a flex. Doesn't have to be a super strong flex, but pull those toes up. And then windshield wiper, side to side. Just looking down at your feet, noticing your range of motion. If your feet kind of turn in or out as they go. And come back up. Scrunch your toes. And then widen them. Stretch your toes really, really, really wide. And then scrunch and widen. Okay, scrunch those toes up. Spread them out. And scrunch the toes. Spread the toes. One more time. Scrunch. Let's hold this one for a full breath. In and out. And then widen the toes. And again, a full breath in and out. Okay, relax that. Shake those feet out a little bit. Bring your right leg cross up over your left so that you can grab onto your right foot. Give it a little ringing massage. Okay, kind of turn that foot a little bit. Get your thumbs in the center and spread the sole of your foot. You can massage up through the arch, come up through the ball of your foot, can give each toe a little pull, maybe even a pull and a circle. Let those toe joints open up. And then see how available this is for you. Depends on your feet. We're going to try to get the fingers in between the toes. So you might only get fingertips just kind of coming up between the toes. You may be able to come all the way in between and get a nice good grip on the ball of your foot. Come as far as you can to comfort. Okay? And then holding in between the toes, circle your foot, your ankle around. And then changing directions, move the other way. Can even do a little back and forth here. And just opening up that range of motion into all those little joints. You can slowly slide your fingers out from under your toes. Uncross, we'll go right into the other side. So bring your left leg up. Get in between those toes, or I forgot our foot massage. We don't want to forget that. So get those thumbs into the soles of your feet, your foot. Okay. Stretch out through the sole of your foot. Wring the foot out. Massage up through the arch. Get up through the ball of your foot, up to your toes. Give them each a little pull in a circle. And then when you're ready, let's get in between those toes. So again, it might just be fingertips. You might be able to slide all the way between. And this foot might be different than the other. If you've had broken toes on one side, or you have some arthritis on one side and not the other, there may be a difference. That's okay. And get as far as you can, get a grip on that foot, and then circle around. And then switching directions, come around the other way. You can do a little back and forth, any other movement you want to experiment with. And then releasing as you're ready. Get those fingers out from under your toes. And unwind. I'm going to show you one bonus move here, and this is especially great for anyone who has tight plantar fascia. So when we talk about plantar fasciitis, this is an intense stretch. It's meant to be that way. We're going to work on leveling into this. So you want to come up on hands and knees, and feel free to pad your knees. I know suffering here. We're going to talk a lot about suffering as we move into this pose. Again, there's a lot of sensation. So up on hands and knees, we're going to curl the toes. Okay? And for some people, that might be a lot, just curling the toes. Big stretch on the sole of the foot, back of the ankle. So if that is a lot of sensation for you, this is your point to just breathe. Okay? Be with that sensation, be present. If you can take more, you start to move your hips back, sit your weight more into your toes. You'll feel the toes stretch here. Okay? Many yoga practitioners call this intense toe stretch, this pose. Coming back as far as you're comfortable, hips toward your heels. And if you can handle it, sitting your upper body up so your hips sit back on your heels, you're not on your hands. So as much as you need to, you can lean your hands into your thighs, release out of this a little bit, play with releasing more weight down into your toes. Relax your shoulders. And wherever you are, wherever you landed in this, close your eyes, take a few breaths. And my teacher would talk a lot about dukkha here. Dukkha, that suffering. Sukha, ease, dukkha, suffering. With all that intense sensation, coming to your breath, meditating on that rhythm, and finding the sukha, finding the ease even amidst the suffering, and finding that center. And take one more final breath. Pull a breath in and out. Come back down. If you are up, come back to hands and knees. Uncurl those toes. Tap your tops of your feet on the floor. It's a nice little release here. Tap, 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 tap. And then if it's available to you, sitting your hips back to your heels. Your toes are not curled this time. And letting the weight of your hips sit down and the front of your ankles stretch. And again, if that's a lot for your knees, your ankles, anywhere else, you can bring your hands down to the floor. Release your weight off your heels as much as you need to. And lean your weight into your arms. And just play with releasing more and more. And finding your edge in this. And there's no perfect endpoint for the pose. This is a practice always. Okay. Listening to your body. You can take another breath or two here. You can end with child's pose if you'd like. You can take a little shavasana. Revisit any of the exercises, any of the stretches that felt particularly good for you. Okay, and bring them into your day whenever you can. Especially that foot routine is great for waking up in the morning and before bed, getting the feet ready for the day, and then relaxing after working all day. So do what works for you. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.